hello, yellow. Did you know that that's what Chinese Snoopy looks like? Like, well, I mean, everything's made in China, but this chick, she went over to China and she bought me this cup and brought him back, and that's what like non-copywritten Snoopy looks like over in China. So, anyway, not that we're here to talk about non-copywritten Snoopies, we're here to talk about the Darkness and their song Rock and Roll Party Cowboy. So, ain't nothing to it but to do it. Here's the intro. That's what you're here for. Okay, before we get hit with non-copywritten Snoopies. Okay, so what I'm doing there is I take my third finger on the 9th fret of the G string, and then I take my pinky on the 9th fret of the B string. Now you can do the bend right there if you want, but these two fingers, that looks kind of dumb. So what I do is I take my second finger on the 8th fret and my first finger on the 7th fret of the G string. I'm not pressing real hard, but it just gives it a little bit of, so it gives it some stability there. So when I do that. So I'm doing a pull off there, like a little bend and then pull off. Now the pull off is to the 7th fret on the G and B string. Now when I do the pull off, I just use my first finger and kind of bar it there. So the next part there is my third finger is on the 9th fret of the D string, and then my pinky is on the 9th fret of the G string, making kind of that E power chord-y thing. Now that last part, when you're doing that second part, you're just walking it back up, and then with your first finger, bar the 7th fret on the B and high E string. So it's... That's just an A power chord to an E power chord. And then you go right back into that. Now, when the verse comes in, we're going to go up a little bit. Let's still play it. Basically, it's just B. Now, there is a background. In the background, the one guitar is still doing that. There's one guitar still doing that, but the main guitar during the vocal is doing a B. Goes through that. That B, that's B. B, B, B. Oh, fuck, we missed that part. Trying to skip ahead. B, E. So, B forever, that one part, that chord during the verse is a B, and then it goes down to E, F sharp, power chord, I'm a rock and roll party, blah, blah, blah. So you got that part. And now when the second verse comes in, I believe that's probably gonna be right about here. Let's turn this down. Now, during the second verse, you're doing the B, but instead of B, you're going to A, So you're doing D. Now for what I'm doing there, let me move so you can see, make it a little clearer. So I'm hitting that E power chord. So I do a little walk there, hit the E, and then with my second finger on the 3rd fret of the low E, and then I use my 3rd finger on the 4th fret of the low E, and then I pivot over to the 2nd fret on the D string, which is that E octave. Very C.C. DeVille-like. Very cool riff. But that's basically the whole thing. You're going to go back into that. Yeah, you got that. And then the breakdown is still just the B, A, E, E major, in case you were wondering. Yeah, that's pretty much the whole thing. There you got it. That'll get you through the song. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that helps you out. And as always, if you dig it, please subscribe, man.